To celebrate International Women's Day, here is a clip from the film Mam, held by the National Library of Wales's Screen and Sound Archive, which is where I work as a film cataloguer. It was made in 1988 by Red Flannel Films to celebrate the generations of women in the valleys whose unsung lives were spent in service, either to the male breadwinners, who are referred to as the kings of the valleys, or to rich families in London, and of course to children. Red Flannel Films was a women's workshop set up in 1986 and funded by Channel 4. The women worked collaboratively and democratically, sharing a Welsh identity and a feminist and socialist ethos. The funding allowed them 4 paid posts, money for training, and the provision of an all-important creche. Mam was their first commission from the channel. It is a documentary with dramatic scenes showing actors Rachel Thomas and Sharon Morgan playing the archetypal Mam role. The film has much resonance today, although the scenes of children being fed at a soup kitchen and shots of mothers managing their pennies and going without food themselves relate to strike times. Who then would have imagined that today's global health crisis would in Britain so significantly increase the already significant numbers of people feeding their families with the help of food banks? There will still be many women today going without food, without freedom, without options. But this film is a signal of hope and a special example of what can be achieved when women seize the chance and are given the funding to collaborate in recording their lives, their times, their opinions.
The image of the Welsh man is one which tends to be in contrast to that of the Welsh miner. I think above all else she is seen as the miner's wife.
And I've played all sorts of mothers in different things, you know, feature programs and dramas and things. And then in 1939 I had this, it was a bombshell really. I was asked to take part in this Welsh film.
What's the matter, old man?
There's nothing I wanted so much as to see you married to Gwen and in a home of your own.
Well?
But things have been so slack at the pits lately, and, well, I don't know how we're going to manage without your help.
We'll manage, my girl. We managed before he started work, and we'll manage after he gets married.
Oh, I expect we will.
I know, we'll have David here as a lodger.
Yes.
He can have Emlyn's room and pay his share.
That was the mother that I knew, and not only my mother, but all the mothers in the village. They were all the same. And the family came first. Whatever happened, the family was first. And the husband and the boys, if they did any work, they came first, and the girls were second, of course, then. But we didn't regard ourselves as sort of second citizens or anything at all. We thought, well, I did. It was a duty to do this for our menfolk. And it was a life then in those days, you see, almost the beginning of the century. You know.
Dad.
Life depended upon the wage earner coming home safe and sound in wind and limb. Every day when the miner went to work, the wife didn't know whether he was going to come back or not, because there was always the danger of accident or death in the pits. Everything revolved around the man's welfare, and of course don't forget that as time went on, it wasn't only the husband who was working down the pit, but the young son of 14 or 15 years of age. For instance, my husband went down the pit when he was 14, and he'd already left school at 12. in order to augment the family income.
Well, now, son, you left it later than me and your mother did. Let me see now, lovely. We had a baby before I was Emmeline's age, didn't we?
I don't know about you, but I had one and another coming.
Aye, and a good mother you've been to them all.
Here you are, my lovely.
Despite the image of mining being dangerous, and it clearly was dangerous, at the end of the 19th century, women between 20 and 45, married women between 20 and 45 in the Rhondda actually had a higher rate of mortality than did their own husbands. Childbirth itself was often a much more dangerous activity than actually working in the pit.